So, genuine, honest question. How many of you guys play Blue Archive? And additionally, how many of you are Nexon fans? So fans of Nexon, either as a developer or as a publisher. The reason I ask is that Nexon, who publish Blue Archive globally, have just announced that they are working on a new gacha titled Project RX. Here is the official artwork for it. And you can tell there is a very Blue Archive inspiration taken from this. This is their new game. So a while ago, I'd say a couple months ago, there was Project KV that was announced. This was essentially I wouldn't say a spin-off, but like a game that was built very similarly to Blue Archive, done by like ex-Blue Archive devs, and that got shut down recently. Now this game was announced called Project RX. This is evidently very eerily reminiscent of Blue Archive. Nexon releases first teaser image for subculture new Project RX, featuring high-quality 3D graphics and lifestyle content implemented with Unreal Engine 5. So this isn't, this isn't Blue Archive. This is Blue Archive, but developed in Unreal Engine 5. That is unreal. This is good. Like, a lot of upcoming gacha games are being built in Unreal Engine 5. This new generation of games is gonna look unbelievably and probably, or look unbelievable and probably run unbelievably poorly on mobile. Cha Min Seo, who developed Blue Archive, so the person who developed Blue Archive is also working on this. Oh, that's cool. They've established their headquarters. Okay. Nexon released a teaser image for its new subculture game called Project RX on the 25th. The teaser image release this time arouses... Do we have to use that word? It aroused curiosity by showing characters looking at players with expectant eyes? Who wrote this? This is on the official Nexon website. What the fuck? It aroused players by showing the characters looking at them with expectant eyes. Oh my god. Like, this guy plays way too many waifu games. Now, not that that's, poorly worded. I think that's worded fantastically. I would love for Chong-Li in Wuthering Waves or Kafka in Honkai Star Rail to also look at players with expectant eyes. Guess they hired erotic writers so knows what their consumers want. It's a base Google Translator, but it's Nexon. Okay. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. Project RX was launched as a task force in April of last year. Afterwards, it went through a process of pickling. Of pickling? What does that mean? To improve the completeness of the planning and gameplay ability. It was promoted to RX Studio on August 1st of this year. Cha Min Seo, who was in charge of the Korean and global services of Blue Archive, so this dude worked on both the Korean and global versions of Blue Archive, is now the PD of RX Studio, and Yutaka Mizu, who's in charge of character design and illustrations of Blue Archive, is now the art director. So not only do they have the director of Blue Archive leading this new studio, they also have the person that was in charge of character designs for Blue Archive leading the art direction for the new studio. That makes sense because this looks so eerily reminiscent of Blue Archive. As soon as I saw this image, like, that was the first thing that went through my mind. When I was scrolling down Reddit, I looked at that, I'm like, oh, new Blue Archive characters. Nope, entirely new project. So Blue Archive 2, essentially Blue Archive 2, like, you know how we have Arknight's Enfield coming, which is, a spin-off sequel to Arknight's Neverness to Avernus, a spin-off sequel to Tower of Fantasy, Azure Pamelia, a spin-off sequel to Azure Lane. This right here, Project RX, is going to be the spin-off sequel to Blue Archive. It's got literally the original director and art director both working on this. Let's see. What else? Project RX is a subculture game where you can enjoy interaction with characters based on immersive storytelling naturally. They would allow for you to interact with characters and be immersed by the interaction with characters, 100%. That's also what Azure Lane is doing. It's what probably Azure Premier is gonna do. It's what Tower Fantasy is doing right now too. And Snowbreak. It features lifestyle content that you can enjoy with attractive characters and aims to implement a vivid worldview and characters with high quality 3D graphics utilizing Unreal Engine 5. I am gonna be honest here, I genuinely hope that this is not set in like, you know, a primary, like elementary or high school. I hope that Blue Archive goes a different direction with this and has a wide array of different characters, like Chong-Li, like Kafka, maybe like some of the characters from Brown Dust 2 or Snowbreak. Meanwhile, Nexon recently reorganized its corporate structure and established the IO headquarters specializing in subculture game development. The IO headquarters includes MX Studio for Project MX, I guess. No, wait, which is in charge of live development of Blue Archive. Okay. And RX Studio, which is developing the new Project RX. So MX Studio and RX Studio. Okay. As the head of the IO headquarters, general producer Young Hakim is in charge of overseeing the development of Blue Archive, and so both games are going to be overseen by the same person. Cha Min-seo of RX Studio said Project RX is a subculture game in which players and characters face various problems and adventures in their daily lives and build memories together. He then added, based on the know-how accumulated through the development of Blue Archive and live service experience, we'll present a game that can provide a new playing experience. So this is going to be different to Blue Archive. That's interesting. But I actually think that is great. I do genuinely think that that's a fantastic direction to take it, because like we don't need a Blue Archive 2 that is just Blue Archive but with better graphics. What we need is Blue Archive 2 that is different, you know, that offers a different experience, that offers a different style of storytelling, a different graphical style. Like look at Arknights and look at Arknights Enfield, look at Azure Lane and look at Azure Premilia. The reason Azure Premilia I think is going to do really well, and the reason Neverness is going to do well, the reason Arknights Enfield is going to do well, is because they're not appealing to the same audience. They're going to allow for the same audience to participate and consume and enjoy, while appealing to an entirely new demographic of players, expanding their total cumulative reach. Therefore, if Blue Archive here decides to take a new approach to their game, not only are they going to have millions of players that are interested in Blue Archive testing the game out, but they're going to have millions of people that weren't interested in Blue Archive testing the game out. That, I think, is the perfect approach to developing a new game set with a similar style or within the same intellectual property and achieving a degree or even a modicum of success, really. And you know, Blue Archive is already an overwhelming success, I think, and I like in the grand scheme of things, this could only help bolster Blue Archive. That would only improve Blue Archive's chances at growth. And of course, if it grows alongside Blue Archive can then funnel players into Project RX. I mean, there are so many different gacha games coming out that are part of already existing intellectual properties now. Instead of, you know, new games like this, like new games like I don't know, what else is a new game coming out that isn't backed by an already established company? Horizon Walker, like, those don't have the same level of success because they don't already have pre-existing franchises to back them. But at the same time, like, they also have to be careful not to overlap, because, you know, if you have the same game but that just looks better, you're going to kill your old game. And if it's too similar to your previous game, then no one's really going to want to play it due to the amount of time and investment they put into the previous game as well. So it's a slippery slope to walk. Hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the two videos that are going to be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.